Tuesday, but it's on a Wednesday.
That is fair. If I was Tori Lowe and I was sitting in the studio, I would assume it's a Tuesday. Honest mistake. Pat on the back to you, Tori, for making that mistake that we all would make.
You know, I love Tori Lowe Tuesdays, but
oh, do you?
I love coming on the show.
We love having you on the show.
I love it. I mean, it's already embedded in my mind.
So when you wake up on Tuesdays, you're like, oh, yeah it's Tori Lowe Tuesday.
Well,
even though it's Wednesday.
There's a lot going on with Tori Lowe today because he's got a big croquet match coming up here. He's got the Penfield Children's Center T-shirt on right now, getting ready for the WTMJ versus 101.7 The Truth Penfield Children's Center croquet match. You gonna get it in? The rain's starting to fall.
I need some tips.
As the resident country clubber,
Ben grew up with a croquet field in his backyard.
I need 5 tips to help me out here.
I've never played croquet.
Oh, wow.
Bocce ball I've played, but
all right, my biggest tip in croquet. You just want to try to be able to send the other person's ball as much as possible. You want to break their spirit.
Right. You want to hit their ball.
If you hit their ball, I believe, right?
You get another hit.
Then you get to
the
send
strategy from Greg Scalzo being break the other person's spirit is perfect.
This is a charity event.
Yeah, it is.
You're
win
telling
at all
me
costs, Josh.
in a charity golf outing, softball game, croquet match, you're still trying to win.
Yeah, we got to win.
Like when you hit one croquet ball with your croquet ball, I believe, like you hit the other person's, I think you then have the right to send it, right? Where you put your foot on your ball and then you hit it hard and it sends the other person's ball. Am I wrong, Josh?
I don't know if Josh, are you a croquet expert?
I've played croquet a few times.
It's been a long time since I played. But I believe that's it. So my point is as long as they feel like they've already lost the game, then you've won.
Right. You got to break their spirit.
Got to break their spirit. Tori Lowe in for a Tori Lowe Tuesday on a Wednesday here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. Tori, of course, every day from 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. So make sure you tune into him there. He joins us Tuesday, sometimes Wednesdays, because we were at Roos Chris in Middleton last
How was that?
It's great.
Fantastic.
Our guy Lee took great care of us there. One of our favorite spots in the Madison.
Y'all, I believe that y'all have a great time when y'all out on remotes.
Well, of course we do.
Yeah,
you
send us
I would
out
love
and
to
about.
join one of those remotes.
We'll get that done.
Tori Lowe on a Tuesday on remote.
On remote, I like that. We'll have to get that organized.
So Tori, you're not normally a T-shirt guy. So,
No, I'm not.
And we don't have to get into specifics about the tattoos. But I want to ask you the question: how do you think I would look with a sleeve tattoo?
Just so you know, Tori, he asked everyone with a sleeve this question.
Well, bad to the bone.
Yes. Bad to the bone.
Exactly what you wanted to hear.
This is me. I'm bad to the bone.
You get to play. Next thing you know, you get a motorcycle, and you all run. You out there.
Are you a motorcycle guy?
Oh no,
I'm scared of motorcycles.
I'm a 3-wheeler
man.
guy.
3-wheeler?
Yeah, I like the 3-wheel idea.
I like
Can
that
I
too.
be in the little car seat next to you? You got a little attachment.
That's what it's for. It's for your pal.
I like the 3. I would do the 3-seaters. I don't trust myself on a motorcycle.
I don't trust 2 wheels. As when it has a motor.
Yeah, one of the best things that ever happened was when I was at the University of Wisconsin, Tori. A lot of the athletes and some students had mopeds,
right?
And so we could get around campus fast. I suit mine up because it was only supposed to go 37 with the governor, and took it to a shop. They put on performance tires, a new body kit, new exhaust. The thing, I had a teammate of mine go on the roads with me. We topped out at 55 on a moped, so the thing was ripping. And when I sold that thing, I feel like I skated death. So it was a good day.
Tori, I got to ask you off the top here. Ben Brust missed one of his best friend's weddings last week. Frank Kaminsky, one of his teammates, the guy he went to battle with, the guy he won games with, the guy he suffered losses with. He went through the highs and lows, ended up going to a Final Four together, largely because of Frank.
Yeah.
And he missed the wedding. It was in Cabo. It was apparently a very fancy wedding, expensive to get down there and whatnot.
Is that common to do a beach wedding and like the people in like the crowd wear white? Because typically that's bad, right? The bride is supposed to wear white.
I'm not sure, but I guess I would ask you, Tori, like, do you have a limit if one of your best friends is getting married in terms of how much you would spend in order to go to their wedding?
Okay, hold on. Are you a groomsman?
No, but I'm a close friend.
I'm talking about. Is he a part of the wedding party?
No, but there was only like 70 people invited.
Okay,
And I was
it's
one of
very
one of
private.
them. Yes.
Oh, I'd be pissed. This is my private moment. I gotta have my buddies there.
It wasn't just me. There was 3 other teammates that didn't go.
I don't know them. I know
Can
you.
you? Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
All I'm saying is,
Tori Lowe's getting married in Cabo.
If it's private, and you know, and I go down the list and I pick 70 people, that means whoever I invite, they gotta be here. I need these guys for support.
Yikes. It's different when you and Josh say it or Tausch says it. Or,
Tori says it hurts more.
Yeah. Yeah, because like
That's my guy. I mean, I was like, okay,
he's authentic. You guys aren't.
I got 70 envelopes here.
Yep.
You know, and when it gets down to the the small amount,
You're making cuts at that point.
yeah,
He
you
had to
gotta
cut
make
a lot
real
of people.
drastic decisions here. Do I do my great grandma or Ben?
He chose wrong. He chose Ben.
Grandma, you're staying home.
Hey,
Great Grams would have been there.
All right. Well, look.
Have you ever been?
he'll get over
You
it.
live and you learn.
Have you ever been a best man or stood up in wedding before? Have you had to deliver
one
the best
time.
man speech?
I'll never do it again though,
So you're saying,
because they got divorced a year later.
so Tori, if I asked you to be my best man in a hypothetical wedding, you would say no to me?
He's worried he's going to curse you.
I mean,
we know how superstitious he is.
You know what I'll do? I'll stand there as a groomsman.
So you're saying no?
I'll
You'll be
stand
like-
there like this, quiet. Long as I'm not saying anything, you'll be all right.
But you're good at saying things. You're good at
Not at
you're
weddings.
good-
I'm like 0 and 1 for weddings. Like I went to one wedding where I had to speak, and they divorced me a year later.
Well, what did you say that scared her away?
I thought
away?
I thought I was saying something powerful. When you do that speech, you got to say something powerful.
Were you sweating?
No, it's
I mean,
It's
like,
Tori
you know,
Lowe. He's
yeah,
used
this is
to.
what I
to
do.
This is Tori Lowe. I don't want to speak at a wedding. I just want to stand there.
Yeah, I mean, at weddings, not just only at weddings.
All right. So that's your kryptonite. Speaking at weddings.
because I don't want to go 0 for 2.
See, shoot or shoot, Tori.
We'll
man.
see how the new cheese head works this year for
Right.
Jordan Love, and if that works well, then you can wear the cheese head.
Yeah, that might
then
break
it brings some good
it
juju.
might break the curse.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, because you don't want to get it. If you get down 0 and 2, you in the red zone. You striking out. You don't
See,
want to keep doing that.
Yeah, I got the shooter's mentality. Now, I've never been a best man. I think that might be, I did give my best man speech for Josh DiMaggio yesterday. I don't know if you heard. He's getting
It was
married,
terrible.
and I'll be his
I'm
best
not
man.
getting married, and Ben is not going to be anywhere near my wedding.
Hey, Tori. Josh told Ben that a caller had texted in how much money would it take for Josh to get paid in order for Ben to be his best man. Josh said no less than $25,000 in order to make Ben Brust.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what does that say? A lot about him or me?
Both. Both. Tori, are you excited to see Aaron Rodgers in Hard Knocks, even though he's going to be wearing a New York
No.
Jets uniform?
I'm not excited to see Aaron Rodgers in anything outside of a Green Bay Packer uniform.
But you will be watching.
Oh, of course. I'm gonna have my eye kind of. You know how you kind of use your peripheral vision.
Yeah, like when you're standing up at the wedding, you got to use your peripherals.
I'll bite the thing off the leg now. I'll go and try to get that. What do they call it when they have the little thing on the leg?
Oh, what is that called? It's not the corset. It's the
It's not the bouquet of flowers at the throw.
It's the thing that they put on the leg on the thigh, and you got to go up there and bite it off and pull it down.
Yeah. There you go. You got him for that.
Well, when I ask you in my hypothetical wedding, it ain't gonna be the bite the thing off the leg.
Nibble on the ankle.
It's a garter.
Gardner, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it may not be as bad as doing the best man speech.
I think most would confirm.
All right, so not excited to watch Hard Knocks, but you will watch Hard Knocks. Jason Wilde was on the air earlier today on ESPN Wisconsin. He was talking about how much the Green Bay Packers organization now, right? He's somebody who's embedded in Green Bay, been covering the team for over 20 years. And he says now that Aaron Rodgers is out of the building, the amount of people talking bleep on them is significant. Josh, do we have a shortcut of that so we can hear what Jason had to say directly and I'm not misquoting him?
We do have a shortcut, Greg.
I know we do. That's why I was trying to throw it to you for the shortcut, Josh.
Thought you were skipping it.
Just keep
And I was
saying
talking to somebody
names.
the other day that knows a lot of folks in the building and talks to a lot of folks in the building. And what he said to me was, it's amazing now that he's gone, how many people are willing to say blank about him. That's the S word that I would have put in there if we weren't censored.
How does that make you feel? Because I know, on one hand, you're Packers fan first, but on the other hand, you're a loyal guy. And Aaron Rodgers brought a lot of good times, a lot of wins, a championship, blood, sweat, and tears to that Packers organization. Then he walks out and everyone starts whispering.
You know, if the people that are whispering, they always thought that about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, because, if you really love somebody, you wish them the best. And if you, you can tell who your real friends are when you get down.
Oh, yeah.
when the chips are down.
When they can't get nothing from you, right?
Yeah, so you got people like that. And I'm one of those people that genuinely loved to see the Packer games and root for Aaron Rodgers. And I wish him well, even though I don't like to see him in the Jets idea. I've always been genuine with my love for Aaron Rodgers. So the people that are talking that extra, they just didn't like the guy in the first place. They were just going along, what have you done for me lately? Give me some wins. And if you don't,
do you think it's a problem in a franchise and an organization that nobody said those feelings to him?
Right.
That they're now able to talk about it with him gone?
Right. They're able to breathe, I guess.
Was it that? Was that a setup?
Oh, no. Josh.
Oh, I like this.
He found the UHC. He found my rock band song. Oh my!
Do you know all the words?
Of course, I wrote it. I'm not for the singing now.
Yeah, you are.
Oh my God, this hypnotized. Oh my God, this is my Iowa days. Oh my goodness. And look, the mob.
That's you singing, right?
No, we had a singer, and I was the rapper. Yeah. At the end of this song, I go crazy. So I don't know if
we cannot play. They will take us off.
Yeah, I don't think you can play the end part. I don't believe you. If you want to,
a lot of cusses.
We was out there.
Wait, Josh, you could have just beeped him out. We
Hey. You wouldn't hear any Tory if I had to do it.
I'm gonna tell you this: we was out there for real. Hey, I can't believe that he played that. Oh my God.
So you're doing the rap, and are you doing any instrumental playing here?
No, not on this song. This was a mosh pit. This was our mosh pit song. When this song came on, it went nuts. We would jump out and crowd surf in the crowd with this song.
And then you'd come out at the end of the song, and everyone go crazy.
We punked it out at the end. This song goes from like an alternative rock to a straight ballistic punk record at the end.
How many lives have you lived?
I would tell you, but I would have to kill you.
All right, we're going to end it right there. We know Tori's got to go to his croquet match. Thank you for the time, as always.
Wish me the best now.
Go Tori. Remember, crush their soul.
Crush their spirits.
Hey,
just like what's happening in that mosh pit in Iowa right there.
All right, I'll let y'all know what happens. God bless you.
All right.
Is there a music video to this?
No, just some album art.
We'll keep reacting to what Jason Wilde had said earlier. You think less of this Green Bay Packers organization since they're willing to say things behind his back. They certainly weren't willing to say to his face. We'll hit it next. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's hard for me to put into terms, but at some point I just respect Jesse Nelson for the way he plans his life. It's better than all of us put together.
I don't know. I think I one-up him.
Are you now upset that Jesse is better than you at skipping out on work and blatantly just presenting excuses that shouldn't be acceptable excuses?
No, I take that back.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Well, we do have a couple of issues still up on the board. First of all, on 4394 northbound, right about at Howard Avenue, the on-ramp there, got an accident there, and then another accident on 43 northbound in Ozaukee County at Highway C on the left shoulder. Heavy ride along southbound 43, basically from Bender Road all the way down in through the Marquette. 44 minutes, Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's a 33-minute backup. Going to be pretty hefty along 41 southbound, too, from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Mayfair Road. You are looking at about a 31-minute ride from Highway Q to the zoo. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Rain ending, mostly to partly cloudy, a low of 63. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Football guy.
If that is the case, Tuesday is amazing because you get a free bonus square day off.
Football guy.
Why is the Friday after Thanksgiving off, but the day before our independence isn't off?
Coming at it from different views. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Welcome in. This is WTMJ's Brandon Snide here with Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Leslie, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Brandon.
120 years, Leslie. That is what Harley-Davidson is celebrating this summer with the homecoming rally. Can you believe it? 120 years?
I don't think I can, really, but we're in the heat of it, and we're getting prepared for all the fun.
And when you say preparing for the fun, you definitely are preparing for the fun. Can you give me some of those details? When does it start? What does it run through? How many vendors? How many bands? What you got coming to Wisconsin Harley-Davidson?
Boy, do we have the fun planned for you, Wisconsin. So July 13th it starts, goes till July 16th. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., Thursday to Saturday. Sunday we're open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., but 23 bands, over 45 vendors, plus, of course, motorcycles. Tons of them. We are actually moved our showroom outside, so we have tons of space. We actually commandeered, luckily, with a good partnership with Dock Hounds next door, so there's tons of parking. I mean, it's a place to be.
And you don't have to be a rider, correct? You can go out there. It's a party for everybody. We're celebrating Wisconsin history here.
Yes, exactly. This is a very family-friendly event, which that's the part I love about this and Harley-Davidson in general, is it's not about whether you're a rider or not a rider. This might get you come in and you look around and, wow, hey, I like that motorcycle. I think I'm going to take a class with the Riding Academy.
Or if you're like me, you walk out with a Harley. Leslie Smith, thank you for joining me. For all the info, go to WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. This week on Repackables, Steve the Homer Chew will join me as we talk about an important game in the 1996 season.
Being chased by DeMarco Ford, got away, throws, touchdown!
Packers come from behind victory in St. Louis against the Rams in Week 13. They had lost back-to-back games, and after that victory, they did not trail in the second half for the rest of the season. It's Repackables. Join us Wednesday at noon, live on the YouTube page for ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Where my dogs in eternally slip into the fall, live it out, gin and juice, relax and let loose, collect my thoughts and regroup. I look into the eyes of my daughter, knowing every breath I take, life's getting shorter. Peer pressure provokes my mind. It seems like I'm walking a thin line. The sun and moon about the day, but I'm slipping away.
What a unique talent in Tori Lowe.
This is not the magic music button.
My goodness, he's good.
I also want to thank him for not swearing in that entire verse there.
Strong stage presence, I'm sure. Community advocate, a great radio host.
How many times?
World's biggest Packers fan, former musician. I'm always amazed by people who have like actual talent like that. And for him to have lived that rock star life in Iowa of all places, man. I'm always blown away by it.
And then to come to Wisconsin and be a community advocate and like, man, what am I doing with my life? I'm here with you guys.
Do you want a music career?
No, it's just like he's a community, like he's helping people daily.
Okay.
That's all I was getting at.
Got it. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, you the Scalzo and Brust family. You sounded like so legitimately sad that I felt like you felt left out that you don't have a song we can bump back with.
No, I'm a little bit. I mean, you know I love music and
Do you love music?
I have an appreciation.
Do you like to sing music?
I have an appreciation for people with music talent.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it, but you guys saw me at Dead and Company. Like, I was like, yeah, these guys rock. I can't do any of this, but I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun.
We felt it. We had fun. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Twitter at Scalzo and Brust is how you can get involved in the show. I want to hear the longer cut from Jason Wilde. Jason, of course, on vacation. He's not going to be joining us, but he was on. Was this from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy or Wilde and Tausch today?
Join his own show, yeah.
Yeah. This is from Wilde and Tausch, in which Jesse Nelson was cousin subbing today. But Jason Wilde talking about what the building sounds like now that Aaron Rodgers is out.
There are lots of reasons for lots of different people to dislike him or despise him or, dare I say, hate him. My feelings are not nearly that strong, but I am encountering more and more people. And I was talking to somebody the other day that knows a lot of folks in the building and talks to a lot of folks in the building. And what he said to me was, it's amazing now that he's gone how many people are willing to say blank about him. That's the S word that I would have put in there if we weren't censored. I mean, and I thought that was really telling, too, that the last 3-ish years, there were a lot of people that noticed him being different, and I'm guessing that those same people who work in the building or maybe are on the coaching staff or on the scouting side, they have pretty strong feelings about Aaron Rodgers too, and that they don't want to watch Hard Knocks unless they're hate watching it.
So Jason Wilde there saying, hey, look, there's a lot of people in the organization that don't like him. There's a lot of people in the organization talking smack about him now that he's not there. And that's a far cry from what it was like when he was there, in which all of these people weren't willing to talk publicly or privately or directly to his face about their issues with him, which only really further enables and solidifies the type of person that he is, right? If Ben Brust came in every day and behaved a certain way and we just allowed him to do so.
You guys kind of have done that for 6 years.
Yeah, but at what point am I the one that's like walking around blaming you or throwing my hands up and being like, yeah, I can't believe, like,
no, to your guys' credit, you guys have taken responsibility. Like, you guys will say, this is our fault. We've created this monster.
But the amount of progress that you've made, no matter where you are now, is significant. We were talking about it yesterday. The beginning of this show, of Scalzo and Brust, Ben Brust would leave the show early to go to like softball or golf. Like, this was like an afterthought. It wasn't a job. You wouldn't watch a Packers game because you like fell asleep during it. You weren't like, and now that's a lot different.
You guys hear that? I don't leave before the show, and I watch every Packer game. Look at me go!
But
growth.
When those things were happening, we talked to you directly about it.
Yes.
We weren't sitting there just allowing for that to unwind. And whatever people's issues inside of that building were with Aaron Rodgers, they created that monster. Whatever issues they have with how he conducted himself within that building, he played for one team his whole career. You raised him. You are the Green Bay Packers. You raised him. Now, everyone has their own unique DNA. You have your own unique personality, right? But they're still to blame for the person, the teammate, the leader that he became or didn't become. And the idea that now you weren't willing to address it when it was an issue in the building, but now you're going to talk smack to him afterwards, tells me that culture in Green Bay is not a great one. And that if they have issues with other players inside of that building, they're not willing to address them head on.
So I do have a question for you, because as we've gone on the journey of getting to where we are, where Jordan Love is going to be the quarterback moving forward, Aaron Rodgers undoubtedly was a back-to-back MVP. The 2020 season, he was unbelievable. Him and Devontae were studs. And there was a point in the offseason heading into 2021 where it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, you said if I was Brian Gutekunst, I would get in front of the whole team and dance around and do whatever it takes to get Aaron Rodgers back if it meant that he was going to come back. Correct. Isn't that enabling the behavior of Aaron Rodgers to have control over Goody, to have control over his head coach if they're not holding him accountable? And you're saying, like, I would do anything to bring him back, even if it was embarrassing myself, and not holding the power that you would have as GM over
I just don't think what people are going to complain about right now with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think was as significant. Now, I'm not in the building, wasn't as significant of an issue for as long as I think people will take it now. Maybe the last year it got bad.
Yeah.
But for a while, he's winning MVPs. The team is winning games, and the offense was great.
No one's miserable at 13-3.
So, like, I guess, yeah, at that point, I do think it was worthwhile for Goody to go down and do that. Now, if you have issues with him, you try to adjust it. But when did those issues start? Why wasn't anybody talking about it then? Why now? Like, it's the ultimate post-breakup dump, right? Like, now I'm going to tell everybody how bad this person was. Well, there's a reason why you were in a relationship for 15 years with this person. There's a reason why you were married with them before the divorce. And if it got so bad that you had to ultimately reach a divorce, weren't there conversations that could have been had or issues that could have been flushed out while it was happening? And I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is, like, alleviated from blame here, but ultimately, like, you knew what you were getting into. You dated the hottest person that you could find, and maybe they were a little far down the crazy scale. Now you can't complain about that. You knew what you were signing up for, and guess what? We're a year removed from them giving him a $150 million extension. So if you had all these issues with him in the first place, be strong in your convictions. If he was a bad teammate and he was the one responsible for this team not being successful, then get him out of the damn building. If the G is bigger than one player, then get the player out. But don't go ahead and treat him and do everything like, oh, it's all about this one. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're going to talk all big and tough.
On the hot crazy scale, he's a 10 hot, 10 crazy, especially when it came to the offseason of 2020 into 2021. And when Aaron Rodgers came back and talked to the media and said what he was looking for and changes in the front office and player personnel and how they treat people on the way out, the Packers ultimately caved to that by giving him an extension, right? And Rodgers was unhappy, I'm sure, but it's comfortable, right? It was still a marriage. It was still something where it's like, we're 13-3. I don't like Gutekunst. I don't like how he's team building, but we won, and change is tough. It's probably why people stay married longer than sometimes that they should, because it's hard to move on from something when you're successful. Look, this would be a different conversation if this was the opposite. If it was 8-9 for 3 years, then a 13-3 season, it never would have got to 13-3. But when you're 13-3, 13-3, 13-4, you start doing things that are going to jeopardize that G that you want to carry a little bit more, and Goody's going to cave, and Matt LaFleur's not going to have a say because...
Well, and that's the other thing, is this isn't just Aaron. We know that there's not a good relationship between Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst. We know there's a lack of respect from Goody to Matt LaFleur. We know that. We know that they talk smack on each other, two guys in that building. So this isn't exclusive to, Aaron's a bad guy and this is all on Aaron and we just couldn't say it while he was here. You certainly had to work around him like you do most geniuses at what they do, right? And he is a football genius. Matt LaFleur's on the record talking about the offense he had to take to Green Bay. Wasn't about scheme or anything. It was about compromise. They had to figure out, okay, what do we do? What does Aaron do? He talked about how him and Aaron and Luke Getsy and Nathaniel Hackett during COVID were on Zoom going through the offense over and over and over again after that 2019 season, which was good on an overall record standpoint, but bad offensively, and saying, okay, here's what we think will be great from a schematic standpoint. And Aaron saying, yeah, I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this. I like this. And that's not Aaron being bad. That's the coach and the quarterback working together in a positive way. Now, if Aaron's coming in and being disrespectful to whoever in the building and it causes waves, you have to address it with the guy. And if you're saying, nope, he's just so important that we're just going to let him do whatever, then you have to live with the consequences of that and then not complain about it afterwards. And
especially because when you think about the turmoil that Goody and Rodgers have and how much hate there actually is, we can use that word for those two. They don't like each other. It's very simple. But after Rodgers complained about the front office, I remember it clear as day. When he finally showed up to training camp right before the season, guess who made an appearance out there and went all over Packers Twitter because they were standing next to each other awkwardly like two people who hated each other on the field? It was Brian Gutekunst and Aaron Rodgers. So again, both culpable in blame, but there's a lot of enabling of the behavior that Aaron Rodgers was providing them, and a lot of, hey, we're going to continue to bring him back because we like having jobs. And as Greg Scalzo famously said Brian Gutekunst feeds his family due to Aaron Rodgers winning them games, even though that's not entirely true. I think he'd be able to feed his family, but you get the point.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. 1 or 0 coming up next. It's Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I have a better voice than you.
Probably do. I just like to sing. Before you open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We have an accident now, a crash on the ramp from Highway 100 to 94 westbound, so it's going to be tying things up. Also, we've got an accident northbound on 4394 right about at Howard Avenue. Southbound 43, going to be a hefty ride heading down from Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette interchange onto 4394, so just give yourself tons of extra time. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Rain ending, mostly to partly cloudy, a low of 63. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm with a high of 75. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
This is the year to buy the woman you love a big anniversary diamond.
What's a big anniversary diamond?
A big anniversary diamond is any diamond that's at least twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
A big anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
People are always so happy when they see the price we can give them.
Kessler's has wonderful prices on 1 carat, carat and a half, 2 carat, and 3 carat big anniversary diamonds.
People will ask you about your big diamond everywhere you go.
So big anniversary diamonds are the hot new trend?
It began with men buying big anniversary diamonds for the women they love. But now it's gone to a whole new level.
Women are now buying big anniversary diamonds for their men.
Women are saying, two can play that game.
I like games that two can play.
Everybody likes games that two can play.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Well, these are tiny penises. That's what these are.
I'm good.
What?
You can never be too sure.
It says it on the bag?
I don't know. I don't speak German.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
They're supposed to be tiny pacifiers.
Yeah, they're tiny penises.
They are, for sure.
But
and they got a little loop, and you can put them on your finger. Look at that.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
It's the 10th sales event all month long at the Lynch family of dealerships. Over 800 vehicles to choose from, including up to $7,500 off select new vehicles or 0.9% financing. And you'll get top dollar toward your trade, even if you have to push, pull, or drag it in during the Lynch 10th sale event. Visit shoplynch.com today.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
As low as 0.9% APR for 66 months to qualified buyers. Must take delivery by July 31st. See dealer for all the details.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
on. The road cones blur like memories of the miles we share between. The place you learn to say your prayers, the place I took to praying. Holding in and breaking down my road dog door till dreams. Long before we ever
Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
direction. Long before I knew the half.
Did I hear that word right there? Or was it direction?
Yeah, it's not a swear word.
I didn't think it was a swear word.
Well, yeah. What rhymes with
you
direction?
heard- I don't believe that's the word.
Can we say that word?
We could say erection.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I said it yesterday.
Oh, yeah, 1 or 0. And you thought it was the word I was fixated on.
Yes.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, you, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Let's quickly go to Mike in Menominee Falls. Mike, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Mick Ultra. What do you got?
I got one thing I said. First of all, Benny, good to see you. I bought you a beer at the Rathskeller right after you graduated from college there at Madison.
Appreciate you.
Long-time Badger fan. Long-time season ticket holder. I employed Barry Alvarez's son for a long time. Getting to the point, though, is that how is it that if LaFleur has a problem with Gutekunst and we've got probably the best quarterback we've ever had in the Packers, going to be a first-time Hall of Famer that's got a problem with Gutekunst, how come the problems with LaFleur and Gutekunst, LaFleur and Rodgers, and not with Gutekunst? Gutekunst did nothing for 5 years to provide any kind of offensive help for Aaron Rodgers. You got the number one player in football. He's got an offensive line that would not have played at Wisconsin, not including Bakhtiari. None of those bastards would, excuse my French, none of those guys.
Thank you for the call. Mike in Menominee Falls there. Elton Jenkins is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, look.
You can ignore the offensive line part.
What's your takeaway from that? Because there's a lot to unpack
He
there.
had some good lines, too, and I'm disappointed it happens because he called everyone dopes. It starts with Goody. It starts with Murphy, which boils down to Goody, all of that.
My biggest thing is it is fascinating if you really do break it down in terms of help for Aaron Rodgers on the offense. Jordan Love in his first year, which, again, there is bias towards who you like and who you do not like, and especially when you draft that person. If you think about it, Jordan Love was drafted by Gutekunst. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a first-year starter. And the last 2 years, especially this past year, because of the way the roster's been set up and who he's moved on from and traded Devontae, he's invested more in this offense for this year moving forward than he did for Aaron Rodgers.
No, he hasn't.
Come on.
Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs. He's got a bunch of first and second year guys.
But I'm saying for Jordan Love, not for Rodgers. He never did anything for Rodgers.
But what has he done for Jordan Love?
I mean, he's
like, you can make the argument he continues to not put his quarterback in a position to win with weapons.
I tend to agree, but my point is if he would have done what he's done the last 2 years, when he knew that he's going to potentially be getting into a point where he wasn't going to sign Devontae, don't you start backloading the wide receiver position a little bit more while you're in the prime?
Well, he tried. He just failed. I mean, they drafted 4 wide receivers the year MVS was there that should have been hitting their prime right as it happened. MVS was the only one that popped, and I kind of agree that he wasn't worth $11 million to that Packers team to be a wide receiver one. They drafted Amari Rodgers in the 3rd round.
Shoot, they drafted Josiah as well. Again,
A.J. Dillon.
Like, they just didn't pop. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that,
I think it's a good point to bring up that he actually did draft guys, but it's also a failure on him to draft those guys that didn't help the team now.
And then I think the biggest failure was when you lose Devontae, you had to figure out something offensively. He had to give something to LaFleur and Rodgers to work with, and he gave him Hammy Watkins. Like, that's the biggest, most damning possible thing.
Because I'll never forget where we were either. We were standing outside American Family Field on the home opener on a freezing cold day, and we're like, hey, there's Packers news. They signed Sammy Watkins. Mm-hmm. Sammy
but we laughed at it, and we're like,
he may not even make the roster.
That's a home run. Like, that's a make or miss. They're going to do so much more. They might build it out. They went into week 1 with him as their number 2 wide receiver. It was Alan Lazard in the number 1 spot and Sammy Watkins in the number 2.
Goody said, he's like, it's still early. There's still plenty of time for us to make moves. Nothing ever happened.
Atrocious. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Nick in Madison says, come on, guys, give the Packers a break. They tried to solve the Rodgers problem exactly how Ben Brust does. Throw some money at it.
It's a Greg and Ben thing. Come on, guys.
Big Reese in Sheboygan. I'm going to have to edit this one here. Says, all those people talking crap on Rodgers now that he's gone are a bunch of sissies. And no doubt, Will D love to report on that. He's the biggest hater of Rodgers, and it's so obvious. I don't think so. Like, I think you're missing the point in terms of how Wildy plays into this. Wildy has actually turned from somebody that you could argue was down on Rodgers to somebody who's been more defending of Rodgers, I'd say, the last 6 months. Am I wrong on that? Josh, you're part of Wildy and Tausch every day.
You're in the group text.
He has made it quite clear that he thinks moving on from Aaron Rodgers is a bad idea. And the Packers are going to likely struggle in 2023 due to that. There's a certain aspect of this that I'm coming from it from a standpoint of like one of the teammates and them talking crap about Aaron Rodgers, which I kind of don't have that much of an issue with, because as someone who's been in a situation like this, when you've got somebody like Aaron Rodgers who's not really open to criticism and is thought of so highly, not only amongst your locker room.
What do you mean not open to criticism?
Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to be wrong.
Especially publicly, but inside of the locker room, that hasn't always been the case.
Well, here's the thing.
You talk to any of his teammates, except for maybe in the last year, he's very highly spoken of. I think he respects the guys that he respects, and he's willing to work with them. I think if you're not on that list, then he's not going to
probably hate him.
Yes.
So as somebody who would likely not be on that list, I think it's almost impossible to do anything but go to your position coach and be like, this guy's a jerk, man. And what they do with that information is up to them. And if they bring it to LaFleur, and if LaFleur then decides he's going to make an issue of it, like, I think if it's like Goody and Russ Ball talking about Aaron Rodgers, like, it's one thing. But his team, him alienating himself from his teammates, is something he kind of talked openly about.
Again, I think you people are making the small big here. And I think that you're talking specifically about the last 12 months, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
prior to that,
referencing.
In terms of what?
I thought that's what Jason's quote was kind of referencing, like this team.
I think they're a guy. I think Goody's. We've known Goody's hated him for 4 years now.
Which means that's echoed amongst his peers in the front office.
I think it's an easy target, and I don't think it's just players in that building that are doing it there. I think you saw the back and forth. Maybe you didn't with AJ Dillon and Aaron on Twitter. Like, I think there are still young guys that like him, and they're the young guys that probably did things the right way. But quite frankly, like, if you're the best player on your team and there's guys that aren't doing things the right way, they shouldn't like you. There's a lot of guys that, there's a lot of guys after Kobe Bryant retired and before his tragic passing that probably would have said bad things about the teammate that Kobe Bryant was. Kobe didn't care about them liking him. He wanted them to be at their best. Michael Jordan was punching guys in the face during practice, Steve Kerr, because he wasn't thrilled with but that's what you do in order to win. I don't care if the players like Aaron or not. I care if Aaron elevated the play of everybody else around him, and I don't always think he did that to the best of his ability, but my issue is more that we're here with this Packers team. And if my kid grows up to be a total bleep hole, right? If she grows up to be a monster, I'm not going to take all the blame, but I definitely have to take some of the blame.
I also think there's an assumption that we're all making here, and I'm as guilty as you guys, that we're assuming that Aaron Rodgers wasn't confronted by the people with power. Now, the assumption, I think, is somewhat safe knowing what we know about the Packers, but to think that Aaron Rodgers at no point was approached in the past 3 years about, hey, you kind of aren't the best teammate to some of these guys.
From what I've heard, that's what I've heard.
I think it's safe to assume, but I also don't.
From the people that would know, that's what I've heard, and also the fact that that Jason and the person he's referencing, who has a lot of conversations there, never heard any of this until now, is very telling.
Also, if there's ever a time in the heat of battle to have the conversation, it's when your quarterback calls timeout and walks off the field and yells at you and swears at you, and you just stand there and do nothing like a ghost because somebody's yelling at you.
Yeah, it's just happened to us. Yesterday, we're yelling at Colin Russo because he did a horrible job. He messed up the entire start of the show, and next thing I know, he's crying to Jesse Nelson. He doesn't say anything to me, and he's crying to Jesse Nelson. I got to hear a third party. So Russo probably doesn't like me. If I were to leave the company, next thing I know, he's going to be talking all this smack to me, but he's not going to say
this Greg guy. I mean, it's the
I'm just kidding. That was a little bit of a white lie. But have we calmed down, Colin Russo? Do we feel better today? Have you taken a deep breath?
I was going to be upset initially with that big outburst from you, Greg, but since you kind of backtracked a little bit, yeah, I'm okay.
It wasn't backtracked. I just simply made that entire thing up because I wanted to check in and see how you're doing.
No, I'm good. Everything's good over here.
All right.
We should actually keep a pulse meter on the guy and
He's like me though. The pulse can go really high and then right back really low.
No, I'd love to see that. Try and mess with him. Keep it as high as possible the entire show.
That's Alex G. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh and Ivasha running the show. Benny, tell us about what's going on in Road America.
Vroom, vroom, baby. There are so many great things coming up at Road America, and I've loved being a part of the Road America family because you get to experience so much at the racetrack. Not just the cars, it's the sounds, it's the smells, and it's the pioneering age coming to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, because the 2023 offers so many opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. And up next is the WeatherTech International Challenge with Brian Redmond descending upon downtown Elkhart Lake and Road America July 13th through the 16th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for that experience. Try the food. Drive a golf cart around. Bring a moped. Camp out. It's amazing there. And then stay for that race. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
The Packers willing to spill their tea about Aaron Rodgers. Will Aaron Rodgers be willing to spill his tea about the Packers, especially with all that camera time on Hard Knocks? We'll talk about it next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's not easy to go through a breakup after 18 years, Ben. This reminds me of when my mom and my dad sat me down back in 2005 and said, "Hey, buddy, it's not your fault. We're getting divorced." Right? This is what it reminds me of. It's very saddening. I'm very depressed today.
Scalzo and Brust.
I mean, I remember where I was when my parents got divorced, but I never thought I would ever bring it back to Aaron Rodgers. But here we are today. We're not looking for therapy advice from you, Ron and the Key, but welcome into Scalzo and Brust.
Nor would I give it to you. I was good enough child that my parents stayed together.
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Greg Scalzo here for 3 Tree Marketing, a full-service branded merchandise agency using creative merchandising to share your company's story. It's who we use here at ESPN Milwaukee. They are tremendous in terms of taking your concept, taking your vision, thinking outside of the box, becoming an extension of your team, and then handling things from A to Z, from ideation all the way to logistics, and finally to execution. That's what 3 Tree Marketing can do for you. It's what they do for us. See how they can help you, and set an appointment today at 3treemarketing.com.
Harley-Davidson is turning 120 and you're invited. Join us July 13th through 16th at the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival for 4 days and nights packed with music, moto culture, and activities for enthusiasts of all ages. There won't be any time for downtime at this party. Green Day, Social Distortion, Phanogram, and Kitty Hoopla will all be there to kick the party into high gear on July 14th. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be epic. Buy your tickets today at harleydavidson.com/homecoming ticket.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. Justin from Downdren's Distillery is joining me on Ben's Beer Fridge to share what separates Downdren's from other distilleries. And for him, it's about being local.
We're a fairly new distillery, but we've created a lot of things that are, again, focused on ingredients you can find in Wisconsin, like Door County cherries, fresh peppers that are grown in Cottage Grove, where the distillery is, and then have that distributed throughout the state to make cocktails that have a Wisconsin flair to them and a very consistent taste, and at the same time are really fun to make into your own version of any kind of cocktail, too.
Thanks again to Justin from Downdren's for giving us some insight on the local connections they have, whether it's beer or the best cocktail on tap for you this summer. Remember, folks, the fridge should always be stocked.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
A big anniversary diamond is one twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Your second home this baseball season is J. Leidenkugel's Barrel Yard, a one-of-a-kind restaurant and brewery overlooking left field at American Family Field. Barrel Yard features specialty beer brewed on site by Leidenkugel's own master brewers, plus nostalgic dining in an iconic setting with a scratch kitchen serving up Wisconsin comfort foods. Open from 11 to 9 on non-game days and during games on game days for fans with tickets. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AmFam Field this baseball season at the Barrel Yard.
Baseball season is here. Your hometown pizza, Palermo's Pizza, has teamed up with the Milwaukee Milkmen to offer lucky fans a one-of-a-kind baseball experience. Palermo's at the plate. Win tickets to a Milwaukee Milkmen game, a game-time on-field experience, free Palermo's Pizza, and more. Visit MilwaukeeMilkmen.com/Palermo's to enter for your chance to win. Enter today to join Palermo's at the plate with your Milwaukee Milkmen at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com/Palermo's.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Josh DiMaggio, you, the Scalzo and Russ family, calling, texting 800-990-3776, and 800-990-ESPN. It becomes official. The NFL will be featuring the New York Jets as their team on Hard Knocks. The Jets going to be the first team to report to camp. We're going to get a full inside view as to what are you doing right now on your phone? You looked like my 65-year-old dad. You had the phone in front of you, and you were just scrolling with a full-on, full top to bottom on your new iPhone Pro Max, so it's like the massive one, and you're scrolling like a full...
I know.
That's what she said.
I know the period of time. We were just talking in the break about my credit score, and you brought up a moment in which you and I...
Oh, my God. I don't even...
No, I was just going to find the picture to show you in break. Where I essentially... Just turn my mic off?
Yes, he did, because you're talking to us about your credit score.
No, I was going to show you the picture of me calling a line of credit in at the casino where you, look at me like I'm, the most pathetic human being on
took
earth.
the picture.
I know. I want to show you it.
Terrence, the official and unofficial Amazon driver of the Scalzo and Russ family, says, "What's up, guys? It's Terrence. I finally realized and downloaded the app so I can now listen to you every day no matter where I'm at.
Let's go.
Thank God. Listen, Aaron Rodgers did so much for the Packers organization, and what Hamilton said earlier is all BS. I'm sure that people are salty and all, but I guarantee you that everyone will be keeping an eye out for how Rodgers is doing this year, and I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, will be watching Hard Knocks this year. It's going to be awesome, I think. Rodgers has a new start, and I wish him all the best moving forward, and thank you for what you have done for the Pack, baby. Chaga, chaga, choo, choo.
Is Is this the train to a good first-round pick or 8-9? Where's our train going to right now?
I'm not exactly sure. But I do think no matter what you believe Aaron Rodgers was throughout his career in Green Bay, believe what he was over the last 12 months in Green Bay, you can't deny that the way that he is embraced and the way that he is onboarded with this New York Jets franchise is nearly perfect.
I mean, if you're going to a new situation after, it's easy. Look, especially this is making Aaron look better, whether you want to hear it or not. Reports about the Packers talking crap about Aaron behind his back, but not having the cojones to do it when he was in the room, and then meanwhile he's out gallivanting around New York and Broadway and Knicks games and Taylor Swift. Like he's just, and then actually showing up for some OTAs,
working out with his
camps,
teammates,
developing young teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you guys have the right read on that. I think everybody who saw how Aaron Rodgers was last year is saying, "Why weren't you doing that?"
No,
Now you're
I
throwing it in their
understand.
face.
I totally understand.
Like,
My
it's
point
not
is,
improving him.
my point is that you can't deny that he's doing the right things now. Like, okay, the last year he might have been doing the wrong things with Green Bay. He's doing everything right now with New York. It's so. I believe it gives us so much insight into his personal relationships, right? He gets to these relationships, everything's great, he gets engaged, and then it ends and it's poor, and they talk smack about him. And then he moves on to the next one.
Are you comparing off-field relationship to relationships with franchises as well, in a way?
It's exactly what I'm doing. That's what I was just doing.
I'm just making sure I'm following your
so
point here.
whether
Keep up, champ.
It was Olivia Munn.
Don't champ me. Do not champ me.
It's a good champ.
That's worse than bozos.
Well, both of you guys missed it. I don't know how you thought. We were saying. I was saying exactly what you said, Josh.
Ben went the other way. That's what I was commenting
I was more so ultimately getting to it helps Aaron Rodgers look as well, having it come out that they're talking crap behind his back while he's moving on.
I just think that maybe there's a little bit of Greg Scalzo and Aaron Rodgers, and he just was kind of done with this Packers franchise, and he was like, instead of me breaking up with them, I'm going to make them break up with me. Talking about high school Greg, not adult Greg. And I think that like at the end, like he makes it so bad for the person that they're like, all right, I'm done. And it was Olivia Munn, it was Danica Patrick, it was Shailene Woodley, and it was the Green Bay Packers.
What happened if you skip over Blue Earth all the time?
I know too much about the Blue
It
Earth
was an entanglement.
Yeah.
You just
their relationship was more the cosmic nature, I would say, than a traditional
This is
relationship.
the
What
second,
the hell does that even mean?
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
You
don't
just
think I would.
twice this show compared Aaron Rodgers to your daughter.
No, I
who
didn't.
is- Who is an infant.
Didn't compare her
And then
to my daughter
you
at
made
all.
an analogy. Sorry. And then you did another analogy to yourself in high school to explain Aaron Rodgers' behavior and how he's acting. Doesn't that kind of ring as somewhat like at what point does Aaron Rodgers
The
hold
first one
responsibility?
is completely throwaway because I was merely making that a comparison.
note, Greg.
As, I'm just saying that one didn't hit. The second one I think is a valid point to be made, but I also haven't been in a relationship in 14 years. I don't know. 12 years? I don't know how long. I don't know how I would break something off now, you know? Like, maybe I would be the same way. Yeah, would you have liked him to maybe approach last year differently? Yes. Do I think Aaron would have gone back and liked to approach it differently? Yes. But at the same time, he clearly felt like this team wasn't doing the right things for him, and he didn't approach that in the most mature manner on his way out. I think that he would even admit he wasn't the full leader that he could have been last
Do
year.
you think he would?
I do. I genuinely do. But I think he would look at it and say, look, in any relationship, Josh, it's difficult to give more than you're receiving. And I think for him, he felt like he was giving so much more than he was receiving that at a certain point, like, there's only so much you can do but throw your hands up. The fact that the coach, Matt LaFleur, last year was talking about the poor practice habits of the young players, the fact that the GM said, I'm going to trade away Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in the league, and replace him with a washed-up Sammy Watkins. The fact that Matt LaFleur is like, no, I'm going to stand by Joe Barry because he was the linebacker coach for freaking Brandon Staley with the Los Angeles Rams. And I think Brandon Staley figured something out with his defensive scheme, so I'm going to take this guy who's a horrible defensive coordinator and try to build this way. At some point, man, Aaron, You could blame him for not being there in the offseason program. You could blame him for not being a better teammate in some of those ways. I will contend that you, Josh, king hater of all things Aaron Rodgers, I can at least criticize him. You can't give him credit. I want you in this moment to give him credit for being the leader who stuck through injury after injury this season, blood, sweat, and tears, and was there for his team game in and game out. But you won't do that because you've got one shade of glasses going on right now, and I can see both sides. Pat on the back to me. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Sorry, we're up against it. 800-990-3776. The number to
You
get
handle that
in.
a lot well than I used to. What did I just say?
It wasn't English. You might complete shows. You might watch the games now. We still haven't taught you how to speak the language.
Grammar
very
was
well.
never a good subject.
Never a good subject. Isn't that the truth? Speaking of Sean McVay.
Grammar's
and
not even a subject. It was English.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. It's Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra.
Well, we still have an accident on northbound 43 at Highway C in Ozaukee County on the left shoulder, really kind of causing some issues around that. On 4394 northbound, right about at Howard Avenue, we have an accident on the ramp there. Otherwise, southbound 43, still going to be a pretty hefty ride, 41 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown, an extra half an hour. The northbound side, downtown to Brown Deer Road, it's going to take about 22 minutes. Southbound 41, Highway Q to the Zoo interchange, it's going to take you 26. On the flip side, it's about a 19-minute ride from the Zoo to Highway Q, a 5-minute delay there. Traffic is brought to you by the Golden Mast Inn. Enjoy a private gondola ride on Okachi Lake now through August 13th. Learn more and schedule your ride at goldenmastinn.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Rain ending mostly to partly cloudy after that. A low of 63. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a slight chance for afternoon thunderstorms. A high of 75. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, you forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
Kajinatawa from Pella.
While we can't do anything about rotten lunches, Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America, where vintage racing lives on. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells from motorsport's pioneering age in historic Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America's 2023 season offers numerous opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. The WeatherTech International Challenge with Brian Redmond descends upon downtown Elkhart Lake in Road America July 13th through the 16th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
It's a party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's a party, baby.
On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, Colin Rousseau holding things down at the Everlight Solar Studios downtown off the Capitol Square in Madison. Pat from Madison chimes in. Says, Greg, you're brilliant. Thank you, Pat and Madison.
That's
608 chimes in and says, oh, come on, Greg. You think A-Rod playing through the injury made him a great leader when it clearly affected him enough that he was not nearly the MVP he could be? His pride wouldn't allow him to step back and let Love have a go, in which he might have been able to do just as much as a clearly hurt Rodgers. All right. You don't even believe that. Josh, he doesn't even believe that.
I don't know. I think he's in control of the board.
Here's what I would say.
Clapping would suggest otherwise.
Here's what I would say to 608. I want my leaders, my players, my best players to always want to play. It's the job of the coaches and the training staff to say either A, you can't play, that's the training staff, or B, you don't give us the best chance to win. Matt LaFleur failed on that if he believed that was the case. Matt LaFleur clearly didn't believe that was the case, which is why he kept rolling with Rodgers. And by the end of the year, I think they actually caught on pretty hot and put themselves in a position to go to the playoffs.
And also, we can even take a step further back here. If there was that much belief in Jordan Love in the offseason, like it could have been less of, it would have been more about who gives us the best chance to win. And Jordan Love did not show enough. And I'd still make the argument that he didn't even show enough. They just got sick of Rodgers and wanted him out, and he wanted out, and they're just moving on.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Let's go to Waukesha, where we have Taylor. Taylor, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Michelob Ultra. What do you got?
Hey, man, I just want to tell Ben I got your back on that wedding. I think destination weddings are very selfish. Not everybody's got that money to make that trip out there. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Real quick, Taylor, in Waukesha. Before I let Josh or Ben respond, how could somebody planning their own wedding be selfish? You're not required to be there. Like, it's for them.
No, you're harping on Ben for not going, but from what I heard like 2 days ago, it's about the money, right? Like, not everybody's got that money. I mean, Frank's first round money, Ben's G League money.
That's a good point.
Lithuanian League money, Taylor.
Taylor, he can afford it.
Josh,
I'm not even going down that road.
You aren't inside my bank account.
Thank you for the call.
You just told me your credit score.
Paycheck, dude.
My point is that, like, if Frank was upset at Ben, then maybe you could argue there was some selfish there. Like, he invited Ben to his wedding. Him and his wife decided this is what we want to do for our special day. And whatever Ben was going to spend to get there, they spent a heck of a lot more to do the wedding that they wanted to. They should be able to do whatever they want.
You know what?
Ben should be able to do whatever he wants.
I'm mad at Frank.
Don't even try
I'm
this.
joking. I was going to say you should have flown me out, but he definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's us. We're the ones who are telling Ben he acted incorrectly.
If you want to get mad at us for being on Ben, you could do that, Taylor. I don't think you can blame Frank and his wonderful wife for having a destination wedding. And you know what? I know there's some people who hate going to destination weddings.
Honestly,
don't go. I know there's some people that love it. I remember going to my uncle's destination wedding in Dominican Republic. It was a blast. Our family doesn't get together very often. Like, the whole family was together for like a week. It's like a little vacation.
I actually think Frank also, I don't want to speak for him, wanted a destination wedding because you really get to be intimate with the people that are there. You don't want to just do 250 people just because you want to have a big wedding. You get to be with the people that you want. And unfortunately, I just couldn't afford it.
Well, also, I'm not sure where her family is from, where his family's from, but like if you're not from two parts, like you got a lot of people that are traveling.
Travel anyway.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Love you, Taylor and Waukesha. Again, 800-990-3776. Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. I want to get back to Hard Knocks because we never actually got to this point. Do you think Rodgers is going to use Hard Knocks as a platform to rip the Packers?
No.
I don't need
This is the perfect opportunity for him to continue to enhance this aviator, clean haircut, new beginnings. Like, he'll be grateful. You know how many times he's going to say, I'm so grateful for the opportunities that Green Bay has given me. Great moments. Thank guys. He won a Super Bowl. And he's going to reference Super Bowl II or whatever it is, the one Super Bowl trophy that the Jets have. And he's like, the inspiration that I have here comes from the journey that I had in Green Bay. I want to thank, everyone from Ted Thompson who took a chance in drafting me, Bob Harlan, even Brian. He'll thank Brian Gutekunst. I promise you, he will drive Brian Gutekunst up a wall by thanking him in Hard Knocks. That's my prediction.
I don't think he won't go that far.
Come on, he's going to test the boundaries.
Aaron Rodgers leads his life with gratitude at the center of it. And
I want to punch you.
You sound like a really, really bad horoscope.
And I think that you're going to see the real Aaron on there. You're not going to see all the things that people say, the Josh DiMaggio is yelling about him on the air and then, about, oh, you should have done this, you should have done. You're going to get to see the true person that he is. And is he perfect? No, nobody is. But you're going to see him as perfect as he possibly can be because there's going to be a million cameras all over the place. And usually anybody, this isn't exclusive to Aaron, anybody, when you're in front of a microphone or a camera, exclude the two of us because you probably get like the worst versions of us here.
You probably do.
But usually you put your best act on. And again, I'm not pinpointing Rodgers at this. Anybody, you're going to be a different person when you know you're constantly being watched.
Greg, I mean, you've seen me outside of this radio show in front of a camera. I act like I'm like the most perfect person in the world. What?
Sometimes you just can't help it.
Just to be a douche?
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, I'll just use myself in this example. I'm probably meaner on this show than I am in real life. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like, in that respect, it's a little bit different. But
this is our relationship every day, what you hear on this show.
But I think ultimately, especially what we've seen in Hard Knocks, you're going to get Aaron at his best.
I walk into the office and Greg goes, "What the hell are you doing? You can't speak. You're an idiot." 800-990-3776.
I will say, I do pepper in the number in my everyday conversation.
Just for good measure.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a question. Let's set an over-under. How many quotes are we parsing throughout the Hard Knocks run, trying to determine if it is in fact or not a veiled shot at the Packers from Aaron Rodgers?
That's an unfair thing because I think Aaron's going to have a philosophy in terms of how teammates should interact, how football should be installed, all these different things. And I think that we might take it as him veiled. I think there will be some intentionally veiled things, but I think there's going to be some things that he just says that you can like.
Right. I'm including us as the problem in this because we're
going to take every single thing.
Right. Yeah. Like, what do you think it's going to get to like 10? 10 or more?
Per show.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, how many episodes are there?
Way
8?
too conservative.
I mean, the entire show is going to be Aaron Rodgers and Sauce Gardner.
How many times is he going to say the word gratitude?
I mean, he's going to wear it out. He's going to have something new, though, something we haven't seen yet.
I agree.
He's got a new thing.
material.
I want to know. Oh man, Joshy, I want you to
how
come
many
up.
psychedelic references?
There'll be more than a few. I want you to come up, Josh, with your top 3 books. 3 books that you think he will mention during Hard Knocks.
I mean, so those who don't know, this was something we did not do on air, but Josh DiMaggio is part of cutting the Pat McAfee appearances that Aaron Rodgers would come on. Josh would guess the book club book that Aaron Rodgers would give the boys to read on the show. I think you were hitting a baseball clip, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I hit about 30%. I left a couple obvious ones out, like 1984. I thought it was too obvious. I thought he was going to go hipster. So I tried to go with, like Animal Farm or something along those lines.
He did. It was a little bit of a high school reading list at times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Giver. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, the one I read that I had never read before was the most baby-brained book I'd ever read, The Alchemist.
Now you're just being mean.
It was insulting to my intelligence.
Oh, look at how smart I am. I'm Joshy. I read big books.
It was for teens. It was young YA, young adult.
Well, and the way you think of him...
Will Ben Brust read a book during the 2023 football season?
God, I was just going to ask, will I read a book in the rest of my life?
The fact that that's an actual legitimate question.
There's nothing that's going to strike your curiosity.
It's possible.
Let's pause.
Pausing.
Who or what subject do you think could put out a book that is like acclaimed and people are talking about that you'd go, you know what? I want to read that.
I got it. If someone wrote a Ben Brust biography.
Or... what if I wrote an autobiography?
You know you ain't doing. You need to go.
If you wrote it, you wouldn't read it. I know that.
I think you should write a book on me.
No,
why not? You would write a great book about my life.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Okay. Well, that didn't go well. I thought you were going to be excited about that one.
Hey, Greg, spend all your free time writing a book about me?
Yeah, the amount of additional.
Make it a children's book that you can read to your daughter.
That's not a bad
That's
idea.
actually a pretty good idea. Children's books are where it's at. A.J. Dillon is a genius. Jesse Nelson just texted us that he wants to write Ben's biography. I think it's perfect.
No, he's too much of a loser.
My gosh. That wasn't even like a veiled shot. That wasn't even connected to
Guys,
anything.
when have I taken just direct shots?
It's like you're trying to be playful, but you don't contain the ability to be playful with it. You just dive headfirst in.
He did remark that he is an award-winning writer from his 5th grade contest in which he runs.
He's a loser. That's what I'm saying.
You're looking for a biographer, Ben.
Is that
you want like a cool
writing?
biographer?
Who's a cool biographer?
I'm done with this conversation.
John Krakauer?
Don't even. It's an insult to bring his name to this conversation.
I hate when you guys are talking about things I don't know what's going on.
He wrote a biography about Pat Tillman. Famously, he wrote Into Thin Air. Also famously wrote Into the Wild, which was then turned into a movie, which you certainly didn't watch, even though it had a great soundtrack.
Yes.
Great
Eddie
soundtrack.
Vedder.
Eddie Vedder, shout out. Society, whew, great song. I do want to give a shout out to somebody who actually deserves a biography, and that's Gina Della from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin does windows and doors replacement better than anybody else. What?
I mean, I get it. She's have a great biography, but I want one too. If you would probably write hers over mine.
I know a lot more about your life than I do about hers, but the service that she's provided has been.
You could probably write the best customer review.
I do it every day, right here. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
All right,
they worked on my older home, replacing all the windows and doors, help with the home value, help with the energy efficiency, help with the beauty of my home. My new place, they busted out windows, put in these amazing patio doors. Now they're working on more projects from the beginning. Joe Franco and the entire team helping to measure, helping to give me all of the options. And are there a lot of options to the install, to the warranty? Because they offer the best wood warranty in the industry, so you never have to worry about rotting outside of maybe what you're going to find in your kids' backpacks months after the school year ends. And right now, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Set your free consultation, PellaWI.com/radio. That's PellaWI.com/radio, or stop by their Experience Center in Brookfield or on the Beltline in Madison.
Greg, can we pause for a second and just bring the Scalzo and Brust family behind the scenes there? During your wonderful live read for Pella and Gina Della, Ben, with not doing a bit, people might think that was a joke. He couldn't control himself because he got jealous at the idea that you would be more likely to write Gina's autobiography. He stopped the proceedings of the show to say, wait, what about me?
Correct.
And then I told you to do your job.
Correct. Meanwhile, I was just using that as a quick segue to get into the Pella Windows
daily.
Every day. Yeah.
One day I'll get it.
We'll see.
Oh, no faith?
I've always got faith, buddy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I mentioned it yesterday at the very end of the show. We ran out of time. There's a new podcast out called Play Callers. Ben, did you listen to any of it?
I did not. Do you want me to lie?
No. Just a matter-of-fact tone in which you did it. It follows the coaching careers of Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, and Mike McDaniel, all now head coaches. If you were to rank them in terms of the head coach you would want to coach your team, where would Matt LaFleur be? We'll come back to that next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
He ain't built for a long, hard day of work. He's built for short spurts. He's not a marathon runner. He's a sprinter. So you should have known when he was doing Day of the Manager with me from 9 till 12 this morning that you are not going to get the best. Of
I agree, Tausch. This is all on Greg.
Yeah, you knew that.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Well, we've got a new accident to deal with now on 94 eastbound, just east of Highway F. off on the left shoulder, so that's going to be tying things up on a very wet road already. Northbound on 4394, just past Howard Avenue's on-ramp, we've got an accident. Basically, cars are on both shoulders right now. And then just generally slow speeds. On southbound 43, you're hitting the brakes from Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette onto 4394. Southbound doesn't really let up till you get past the KK River. So we've also got westbound 94, pretty solid out of the Marquette through the stadium. The eastbound side slow from 92nd Street through the stadium interchange as well. Make sure you have your headlights on, by the way, if you get your wipers on. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rain ending, mostly to partly cloudy after that, then a low of 63. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance for afternoon thunderstorms, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Greg Scalzo here, and we want you to golf with us this year at the Bog Golf Course in Saukville. All week long, enter for your chance to hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee personalities like Ben Brust.
What's up, y'all?
At the 2023 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open on August 8th. Entering to win is simple. Find 94.5 ESPN on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and send a screenshot proving you're a subscriber to the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. And we'll draw a winner at random who will get to bring 3 friends to the Bog on August 8th and spend the day on the links with ESPN Milwaukee. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full contest rules.
It's going to be a ball.
That's all you had to add?
You wanted lower prices? Fleet Farm's got them. Like KT Nut and Fruit Blend. Now only $32.99 for a 20-pound bag. Or how about $3.49 a quart for Resolute Conventional or Synthetic Blend Motor Oil? Also, Resolute Classic Green Antifreeze is now just $10.99 a gallon. And control summer weeds with Gordon's Amine 240 Weed Killer. 2.5 gallons, now only $69.99. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Brookfield GMC has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, all bundled under the James Managed Print Services Program. Brookfield GMC Controller Jay Doyle.
They can track where the printer supplies are, the toner supply is getting down or low, and then they'll ship us a new toner.
And there's more. James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services also includes parts and service.
Exactly, yes. We had a fuser go out in one of our printers, and they came out and replaced that right away. So repair and our supplies are maintained.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. All your document output devices, service, supplies, and parts wrapped up in one low monthly invoice. Now that's a good value.
It's a big value because of all the services.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store.
It's the 10th sales event all month long at the Lynch family of dealerships. Over 800 vehicles to choose from, including up to $7,500 off select new vehicles or 0.9% financing. And you'll get top dollar toward your trade, even if you have to push, pull, or drag it in during the Lynch 10th sale event. Visit shoplynch.com today.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
As low as 0.9% APR for 66 months to qualified buyers. Must take delivery by July 31st. See dealer for all the details.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
The number 2
You handle that a lot well than I used to. What did I just say?
A lot better.
If Ben Brust was an NFL head coach, he would be part of the genius group that consists of Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Mike McDaniel, and Matt LaFleur.
I respectfully declined their offer to join their crew when they were in Washington.
Well, you were a college basketball player. I don't know why they would have.
They knew my football mind.
Okay.
You could see it on the court.
I want to quiz him so bad, but it's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm not going to even do it. What run scheme do they run?
It's definitely an outside zone.
Joshy, I know that you put that in his ear.
No, you don't.
Hey, listen.
If anyone's watching the show on YouTube right now, all you have to do is see Ben's initial look of panic, and then all of a sudden answer with the correct answer. Immediately after Josh's approach.
He's my best friend. He's got my back.
The mic. It was indeed an outside run zone, or an outside zone run scheme.
It makes sense because Aaron Jones, all he gets is outside zone runs.
I mean, yeah, you're just wrong now because that system has developed quite a bit and evolved quite a bit.
Outside zone's more about blocking than it is.
No, it's not. I talked to my guys about that.
Kyle Shanahan barely even runs the outside zone anymore because we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty here. The idea that I want to run here is that there's a podcast out right now through The Athletic by Jordan Rodriguez, I believe, put it together. And they track from the beginning of Kyle Shanahan really starting his career in the NFL to this tree that he has ultimately created, which has so many different branches now, offensively and now even defensively, but we'll stick to the offense here. But the core four offensive coaches, before you even get to like Zach Taylor, the head coach in Cincinnati for the Bengals, who was a part of that tree and came through that Kyle Shanahan system as well. The core four guys that this follows is Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Mike McDaniel, and Matt LaFleur. It's interesting hearing sort of the dynamic of this group, right? Kyle Shanahan was the guy that sort of was the always the alpha of the group because he was older. He was the one that was in charge for a lot of these guys. Sean McVay quickly rose up and became a head coach at the same time that Kyle Shanahan did, was the first guy of that group within the Shanahan coaching tree to actually win a Super Bowl. Mike McDaniel was the last one to get a head coaching job, and yet he was the one that ultimately helped redefine how coaches teach the game of football on an offensive landscape and still do to this day based on some of the back-end work that he did and really found a niche, particularly within that run scheme. Matt LaFleur was kind of viewed as the compromise guy, the organized guy who was able to help from a communication standpoint. And now Shanahan's had a brilliant run in San Francisco, has yet to win a championship, but appeared in the Super Bowl. McVay's had a brilliant run in L.A., won a Super Bowl. Mike McDaniel had an incredible first year, turning Tua Tagovailoa.
You've always struggled with Tua.
I can't do it.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Tua. Shouldn't have tried it.
You know what? It was a safe place to try. I hear you on ESPN National.
Don't even try it. Never go.
Try it.
Yep, just go Tua. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. Who turned Tua into the best deep ball passer in the NFL? Obviously, the injuries there piled up, and then you've got Matt LaFleur, who, in his own world, right? Because when these guys become head coaches, the idea is now I can do what I've always wanted to do. Matt LaFleur, in my mind, still hasn't, in the way that those other three have kind of gone into these organizations and been able to implement what they want to implement, and that changes year by year depending on who their scheme is. LaFleur's never been able to do that in Green Bay, because his entire offensive system has revolved around Aaron Rodgers, who is so specific and so demanding in terms of what he knows will produce great offense. And that has been to Matt LaFleur's credit in my mind, because the offense has been so great since he has been here, particularly those 2 MVP seasons for Aaron Rodgers. Now we're going to get to see exactly what he wants to implement around Jordan Love and what this offensive firepower is. But if you had to pick one coach, I guess I would want to rank them in order. If you were to rank these coaches in order of who you want to coach your team, who would you pick?
I know that McVay has the Super Bowl title with the Rams. I still go Kyle Shanahan one. Anytime I watch the San Francisco 49ers, they have a ton of pieces in place. Like, the offensive line's been a stud. They've had Trent Williams at the left tackle, who's a beast. Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey. And they've done this with the last pick in the draft, Jimmy Garoppolo, who's serviceable. They've had roulette of quarterbacks. They haven't been able to get to the holding the trophy up stage that Sean McVay has. But the offense, when I'm watching them play, is so creative. It's always got a wrinkle. It's always got a counter. It's always got something extra. And I think, again, it's a close battle. You got to go with McVay. I think what was cool about with what McVay did was he brought Jared Goff to a Super Bowl. Everything around them from a defensive standpoint was great. They had a ton of offensive weapons. It was Todd Gurley's best season. Then he fell off the planet, off the face of the earth. And then it inspired Matt Stafford, who was a good quarterback, to show that he needed to just make a couple more throws than Goff made, and he won a Super Bowl. And I think, to your credit, with putting Matt LaFleur in a good light there, as much as I harp on him, it's because he had Aaron Rodgers, right? From the 2019 season to 2020 to 2021, Rodgers won 2 MVPs. It did look like Rodgers' career was maybe heading towards a negative path. 2018, obviously Joe Philbin was the interim head coach. 2019, the defense was probably more the reason, other than run defense, of why they won games. Created turnovers. The offense wasn't great, but for him and Rodgers to work together, no matter what the relationship was like in front office between Rodgers and LaFleur, they made it work where they had one of the best red zone offices in 2020, and Rodgers won 2 MVPs. McDaniel, I think people like his personality, but I just need to see more before I'm going to put him ahead of Matt LaFleur. So that's my 4.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Thank you for getting that.
Too long?
No, you got nice and deep there, which I appreciate. I think LaFleur is definitely behind Shanahan and McVay, right? I think Shanahan, to me, is number 1. You put up there, and I know he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. I think you got to put McVay number 2. The interesting one is McDaniel and LaFleur, and I think LaFleur is actually almost going to have the McDaniel experience of last year. This year, it's just I don't think the firepower around.
There's no
Jordan
Tyreek
Love or Waddle
or Jalen Waddle.
And I think that's going to present a problem. I would actually put McDaniel ahead of LaFleur right now, and I know that's kind of sacrilegious, but what you've seen McDaniel do offensively, in terms of the creativity, in terms of how people even talk about him, I think that conceptually, as an offensive mind, he is probably more capable than LaFleur. Where I think LaFleur has the edge on him right now is in terms of just maturity, but at the same time, like, McDaniel's going to win a lot of games, and that team is primed right there in order to do so this year for the Miami Dolphins. We'll see what happens with Matt LaFleur. Daniel the Sloth chimes in and says, Ben, are your lash outs at Jesse Nelson because he gets under your skin because you're jealous of him? I think you're a bully, and you lash out at him because you cope with the jealousy in that fashion.
It's not my fault that Jesse Nelson bragged about how good of a bowler that he was and said he would spot me 30 pins to Greg Scalzo when I faced him one-on-one, and I beat him outright. There's no bullying. There's just putting a nerd in his place.
What you just did, it felt like bullying a little bit, no?
Maybe it was.
Just a little bit.
I thought so. Well, you do work out at the Princeton Club.
I do.
No big deal.
Maddie, tomorrow we're going to get after it. I hope you're listening right now, Maddie, because I have a ton of energy. Because I've been working out at the Princeton Club. I found my better tomorrow where when I wake up, I know I'm going to go in, and when I go in, I have somebody to help push me further. And sometimes it's not a personal trainer. Sometimes it's just the atmosphere, the community. You see all the people working out, bettering themselves, and you're like, I want a piece of that action. And that's the community that I have at the Princeton Club. And you can too, with free childcare, with your membership. It's amazing. Drop off the kids, get a workout in. Who doesn't want that? And then when you think about it being clean, it's so hard to find clean, healthy health clubs. The community at the Princeton Club, whether it's in Madison or Milwaukee, they provide you with everything you need to be successful. And I will continue to go back to the end of time. Princeton Club.
1-0 coming up next. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
1-0, you've gone 48 hours without brushing your teeth as an adult.
See, I don't think there's another one in the state of Wisconsin.
Oh, stop.
As an adult?
I mean, everyone's gone through a phase of giving up. Everyone's gone through a phase of giving up and not brushing their teeth for a couple days.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We have a few crashes to deal with right now. Water coming down, making for things really dicey. You want to make sure you have your headlights on. But right now, 94 eastbound, just east of Highway F, the left lane is blocked, so that's going to be really tying things up. We're almost reaching Highway 16 now with those delays. We've also got westbound 94, a little bit past Moreland Road on the left shoulder. We've got an accident there. Slow speeds along the bypass, basically all the way down from the Zoo Interchange down and around the Hale, all the way to Loomis. The westbound side slow out of the Mitchell Interchange out past Loomis as well. Southbound on 43, riding the brakes. Silver Spring all the way down into the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by the Golden Mast Inn. Enjoy a private gondola ride on Okachi Lake right now through August 13th. Learn more and schedule your ride at goldenmastinn.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Really looking at the entire space holistically. The environment, the walls, ceilings, lighting, flooring, furniture, technology, along with acoustics.
To conceptualize how the end users are going to interact with the room, from the furniture all the way down to the AV, having that work seamlessly within the environment and often hiding within the furniture.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
Harley-Davidson is turning 120 and you're invited. Join us July 13th through 16th at the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival for 4 days and nights packed with music, motoculture, and activities for enthusiasts of all ages. There won't be any time for downtime at this party. Foo Fighters, Cody Jinks, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and White Reaper will all be there to kick the party into high gear on July 15th. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be epic. Buy your tickets today at harleydavidson.com/homecoming ticket.
Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitro Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. This week on Repackables, Steve the Homer True will join me as we talk about an important game of the 1996 season.
Being chased by DeMarco Ford, got away, throws, touchdown!
The Packers come from behind victory in St. Louis against the Rams in Week 13. They had lost back-to-back games, and after that victory, they did not trail in the second half for the rest of the season. It's Repackables. Join us Wednesday at noon, live on the YouTube page for ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter.
The only diamond more valuable than colorless
is the diamond that is colorful. Pink, yellow, and blue.
In 2016, Christie's auction house sold a 14-karat blue diamond for $56 million.
That's $4 million a carat.
In 2022, Sotheby's auction house sold an 11-karat pink diamond for $57 million.
That's more than $5 million a carat.
These diamonds were born when the Earth was born.
They come from the heart of the Earth.
But now there are also pink, yellow, and blue diamonds that were born when you were falling in love.
These created diamonds come from the fiery heart of a miniature sun blazing inside a plasma chamber. Hot, hot, hot.
Pink, yellow, and blue.
Your colorful 1-carat wonder awaits you for $12,000 or less.
Your colorful 3/4 carat miracle awaits you for $8,000 or less.
Get them while you can. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
When I walk beside her, I am the better man.
What a callback by Joshy here. Little Eddie Vedder into the Wild soundtrack. Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra. 800-990-3776. Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. That's how you can get involved in the show. We didn't do it in hour one. We're going to do it right now. It's time to play a little 1 or 0.
0. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo are your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio is your host. Yes, that's the question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
Dan Orlovsky's wife made him delete a tweet in which he claimed 2 to 3 days was an acceptable amount of days to go without showering as long as you go in the pool. Orlovsky also previously claimed he only washed his bath towel after 30 uses. 1 or 0. You have to shower after every swim in the pool.
That's a 1. I don't like the... What?
Okay.
I hate the feeling of... I get pruny. I smell like chlorine.
It's a saltwater pool. There is no chlorine.
Even if it's just like, I don't know.
It's fair.
It's the.
I'm a 0 here. I'm a you got to shower every day guy. But like after a pool, if it's a saltwater pool, I don't need to shower after that. If I'm just gonna like lounge around.
Crusties on it? Crusties?
What do you mean?
Like the saltwater crusties.
I was in a saltwater pool over the holiday weekend, and every time I got out of the... Is that cool? Why is that
That's
cool?
a brag.
Yeah,
that was a brag.
It's a saltwater pool.
That was a brag.
Are saltwater pools like...
They're more expensive than chlorine.
Here's the biggest thing about this entire story. I'm done with Orlovsky. Done. D-U-N done. You can't delete that tweet.
So
my wife is mad. It's the most harmless tweet ever. Like, what do we... He didn't say, like, I'm doing horrible things. I'm causing harm on other people. He said, I don't shower for 2 days because I go in my own saltwater pool, and basically was like, yeah, I wasn't out in public. Like, he went a whole weekend without showering.
What if she just
you
found
went
out
2 days without brushing your damn teeth, and somehow you're offended the man didn't... 3 days without brushing your teeth, and you're offended that the man didn't take a shower
That
after
was in
a pool.
COVID.
No, it wasn't.
No, that wasn't.
It was like
we just
this
put the
year.
liner. It was like weeks ago.
It wasn't weeks ago.
Months ago.
That's because I was out of toothpaste.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was because you left your toothbrush in your gym bag and it was at the gym.
Yes, and you brush your teeth in the shower.
Which means you don't brush your teeth at night. So, like, my point is, unless it's like a truly offensive tweet, you can't delete that. And like Orlovsky's wife, like, be more concerned with your husband dressing like a dork than like, you know, his showering habits.
He's a snazzy dresser, Greg.
I know he's a friend of show, Wildy and Tausch. I respect his football acumen. I think he's a smart guy. I think he's good at his job, but I'm done with him. You can't delete that tweet.
He's definitely good at his job, but I've still yet to hear him say a quarterback's bad. You know, he can find potential in any quarterback. Look at the footwork here. Look at this one pass. Pretty incredible how everyone's great.
Showbiz, baby. 1 or 0. The summer months require a daily shower.
Absolutely.
One.
Like even the humid days, even if I don't even go outside for more than 30 seconds, it finds its way into the building. I feel sticky. I feel gross. There's nothing better than going to bed after a clean shower.
You shower at night?
I
Like a kiddo?
will. If you want to call it that, yes.
I know a lot of people do. I just didn't think that.
I'm a kiddo. Like
I see Benny as a bubble bath.
But you don't shower in the morning, too?
I shower morning and night in the
Oh,
summers.
so got it. Shower twice. Okay, that makes more sense.
I just like feeling clean before going to bed. But also, like, waking up, I'm groggy. Like, it's more... Even if I'm still technically clean from showering at night, which I don't feel like I am for some reason when I wake up in the morning, probably because I sweat a lot and whatever, I need to shower to wake myself up.
Burger King in Thailand has debuted its new Real Cheeseburger, which includes 24 pieces of melted cheese between 2 buns for just $3. 1 or 0. Too much cheese ruins a meal.
1, absolutely.
I'm so annoyed by this stuff.
We're doing too much now.
No, we're not. We fall for it every time one of these places does it. It's like, oh, we're going to do this in Thailand. You really think they were like selling it in Thailand? No, Burger King does this, and then they just know that Burger King is going to be talked about all day today. The amount of earned media they get out of being like, we're going to create something really gross. I promise. It's like, it's gross. Yes, too much cheese can ruin a meal. You need to have a good balance, no matter what it is. Too much of anything can ruin a meal, quite frankly.
I mean, that stupid jingle is so annoying, too.
I don't even know what jingle you're talking
Happy
I sing it all the time. It's a
Have
banger.
it your way.
You rule!
Shut up.
That song bangs. Sorry.
Girlfriend sings it. It's so annoying.
I sing it all the time, drive my
You guys should
girlfriend
sing
nuts.
together.
Who eats at Burger King?
Greg, it's the worst place to go.
I don't understand how any of these places stay in business. Who's eating at Long John Silver's? Like, who's eating at Arby's? Like,
Arby's is the one that is fascinating to me.
Not Long John's?
I don't see them anymore.
If you told
do they
me,
even exist?
If you told me,
One another night in Green Bay.
Told me to find the Long John Silver's without a map, or I'm dead. You'd have to. Kill
Oneida
me
Road in Green Bay, right on your way to Lambeau. I see it every time, and I'm always just like, I almost want to stop there, just try it.
This thing on?
Hey,
fast food. You got any fried clams for me?
1 or 0. A good grilled cheese is a Mount Rushmore sandwich.
0. I'm just cheese to me is always complimentary. If it's ever the thing that, and again, I know I'm living in Wisconsin, I consider myself a cheesehead. Maybe I can't be a cheesehead if I don't consider some cheese to be a primary thing. I guess it's primary on pizza, but like there's also crust and sauce. You could say the ratio there.
I think I might be a 1 here. Now, this is with a defined definition of sandwich. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I think I might be a 1. I think it might take the 4 spot on the sandwich. Like a really good grilled cheese. I didn't prepare a Mount Rushmore of sandwiches today. My point is, it's in the conversation, so I'm going to say a 1 here.
Nah, because I've been going to a local deli, and they have...
you're allowed your opinion here. We all like different things.
The hot sandwiches that I have, like, grilled cheese is number 20, and I like a grilled cheese.
Doesn't sound like you do.
Barbecue brisket today with caramelized onions, like that did more to me than a grilled cheese.
Yeah, but that's like I feel like that once in a while. Grilled cheese is a staple.
It's a special. This was a once in a while. They bring specials galore and they blow grilled cheese out of the water every time.
I'm anti-nostalgia, but a grilled cheese really hits that.
Oh, in the winter, a little tomato soup.
Warm your cockles right up.
You know, you're going with like the president that did like one good thing once. I'm trying to find the consistent president that belongs on Mount Rushmore.
I would, if I were president, try and do one.
Can you name the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore without looking?
Heavens to Betsy.
George?
Yep.
Abe.
Okay.
George and Abe?
Yep.
Can you guys give me some hints?
I mean, there's one more obvious one, and then the 4th one I don't think you have a chance in hell to get.
Is he on a dollar bill?
Are you being serious right now?
Like, not a dollar. Like,
you already got the dollar bill.
Is he on a form of a bill?
Yes, but there's a million bills. Like, what are you doing here?
Here's a hint. This person was named after a child. Well, a child's toy was named after this person.
He's never gonna. That's the one he's never gonna get.
It's been. Are you smarter than question more than once?
He's still never gonna
Thomas
get it.
Jefferson.
That was the other one that you, but not the one that he was trying to give you a hint for.
So I have 3.
Jefferson was the other obvious one.
George,
yes.
Abe, and TJ.
Yep. This is the man that developed and created the national park system. Traveled with John Muir across the great...
You gotta get...
He shares a name with a caller.
He once got shot, but he had a speech in his pocket, and the bullet didn't permeate that speech.
Wow. This guy's a legend. Is this why he's on Mount Rushmore?
Was he technically Bull Moose?
Bull Moose? Yep.
All right, can you give me hints that will help me?
These are tremendous hints.
I've never heard of.
These are tremendous hints.
We've walked you to the finish line.
There's another president, also a very famous president, who shares the same last name as him. I mean, what else can I can lead you to water, but I can't force you to drink, buddy.
Is there a
Come on, Chan, you got it.
Is there a Kennedy involved?
There's only been one Kennedy.
Okay, I thought there was 2.
Who was the second other than John F. Kennedy?
Oh, he's running for president.
At what point can we just start?
RFK
letters?
Sr. Whatever. I'm not going to.
His name starts with a T.
Is he on a bill?
I mean,
why aren't
I don't
you
know.
even taking stabs?
Because you just stopped to start
Did you
naming
run on
presidents.
presidents that you know?
Russo, help me out!
I don't know how smart Russo is. Once again, he's not paying attention.
Say he's even in the room.
I'm paying attention. I just don't want to help Ben.
No, you have the answer, you idiot.
Oh, the 4th head? Yeah, I do.
Who is it?
Teddy Roosevelt.
War hero.
Never would have got that.
We should have given up the national parks thing. Everyone should know.
When you said
Rough Riders.
What's the Rough Riders? Sounds
The
like
group that he
Corey
led in the
band.
Spanish-American War.
The Spanish-American War? What was that about?
He didn't even know it happened.
All right. American Family Insurance. Even if you know as little as Ben Brust does about the world around you, even if you know that little about buying a house, you're still going to need to do it, and you're going to work with American Family Insurance. I couldn't come up with a good segue there. Just work with American Family Insurance because you get to work with an entire team. AmFam is amazing. They've got all the technology to make sure that you pick the right policy for you so you can build your own policy using their digital home quoting tool to get the right coverage for you and your family. They offer special coverages that truly protect you from the unexpected. And you're getting a policy that's specifically designed for you. In discounts, like a renovated home discount or a new home discount, they want to make sure your homeowner's policy works harder for you by rewarding you with savings. All that is well and good. The best part to me, as a longtime AmFam customer, is the fact that you get to work with an AmFam agent. So when something does go wrong, when you have a question, you all of a sudden run into somebody, your parents are like, hey, do you have an umbrella policy? You don't have to call some nameless, faceless 800 number to ask questions or to submit a claim. You get to talk to the team that's in your community that you have a local relationship with. It's why you should go to amfam.com right now to find your local American Family Insurance agent. And remember, when you protect both your home and auto with AmFam, you can save up to 28%. So once again, amfam.com. Ben Brust, another lie exposed next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's true.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You know what? I apologize. This Scalzo family's got standards. You could only kill one person.
Yeah.
Second time you're in.
I think that's fair.
I'm leaving.
You wouldn't go to jail for your kid or your wife? You wouldn't take the blame for him?
Hell no.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Your second home this baseball season is J. Leinenkugel's Barrel Yard, a one-of-a-kind restaurant and brewery overlooking left field at American Family Field. Barrel Yard features specialty beer brewed on site by Leinenkugel's own master brewers, plus nostalgic dining in an iconic setting with a scratch kitchen serving up Wisconsin comfort foods. Open from 11 to 9 on non-game days and during games on game days for fans with tickets. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AmFam Field this baseball season at the Barrel Yard.
Welcome in. This is WTMJ's Brandon Snide here with Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Leslie, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Brandon.
120 years, Leslie. That is what Harley-Davidson is celebrating this summer with the homecoming rally. Can you believe it? 120 years?
I don't think I can, really, but we're in the heat of it, and we're getting prepared for all the fun.
And when you say preparing for the fun, you definitely are preparing for the fun. Can you give me some of those details? When does it start? What does it run through? How many vendors? How many bands? What you got coming to Wisconsin Harley-Davidson?
Boy, do we have the fun planned for you, Wisconsin. So July 13th it starts, goes till July 16th. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., Thursday to Saturday. Sunday we're open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., but 23 bands, over 45 vendors, plus, of course, motorcycles. Tons of them. We are actually moved our showroom outside, so we have tons of space. We actually commandeered, luckily, with a good partnership with Dock Hounds next door, so there's tons of parking. I mean, it's a place to be.
And you don't have to be a rider, correct? You can go out there. It's a party for everybody. We're celebrating Wisconsin history here.
Yes, exactly. This is a very family-friendly event, which that's the part I love about this and Harley-Davidson in general, is it's not about whether you're a rider or not a rider. This might get you come in and you look around and, wow, hey, I like that motorcycle. I think I'm going to take a class with the Riding Academy.
Or if you're like me, you walk out with a Harley. Leslie Smith, thank you for joining me. For all the info, go to WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
It's the most boring thing that could possibly happen in any sport.
You can never be too sure.
If you told me there was going to be a perfect game pitched before the perfect game happened, I would turn the channel so fast.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah. You just sit there and watch a guy throw a ball all game long and go, oh my God.
Sounds like he understands the concept.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcast. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Ben Brust, renowned for his half-truths to no-truths. Another one unveiled last night when we got a text message from Ben Brust.
What's the off for?
I forgot how annoyed I am by this.
I was annoyed by Ben here too, actually, but for probably a different reason than you. So Ben Brust yesterday, last night, texts us in the Scalzo and Brust group text saying, accidentally just ate shrimp. TBD if I'm going to die. Stay tuned.
I've thought my entire life I've been deathly allergic to shellfish.
We told you that you weren't. You'd never tried it before.
It turns out that there was shrimp in my enchilada, and I ate shrimp.
So Josh texts 50 minutes later saying, you dead? And you immediately responded alive. You didn't let it sit there. You didn't let the joke, like, there was no, like, fun. It was just like, yeah, I'm alive.
No, but, like, I don't think you get, I was kind of freaked out.
I know. My plan was literally I was going to wait. I was hoping that you were on the same page. I was going to wait 5 minutes and then call Josh and be like, Josh, Ben's girlfriend called me and he's on his way to the hospital. Like,
Josh wouldn't have cared. He'd been like, fine, I can slide into the wheelchair next year.
I would have laughed, I'm going to be honest.
Why did this annoy you, Joshy?
Just because Ben Brust somehow is like a hypochondriac. He's got every issue you could ever have. It's allergies aren't hereditary. That's not how they work. You can't just because someone else in your family has it, you don't just get it.
I don't know.
But
I thought that's how genetics work.
But it made his mom special because she would say it at restaurants, and then he wanted that too.
So what happened when you eat it? Did you peel it off the rest?
He didn't know.
I didn't know.
Oh, it was after.
It was on the last bite. I'm alive. Don't need that.
Regretfully.
Another lie exposed once again. Joe and Amber coming up next in Madison and Beaver Dam in Milwaukee. A special Wednesday edition of On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Well, we've got a new accident to deal with. 94 southbound at Elm Road. The two left lanes are blocked with this. This is along with eastbound 94 just east of Highway